All right, so I'm gonna pop this up and let's see. So I'm gonna let you guys see this title, and this is the reason why. This is one of the reasons why I do streams like this, especially with videos like this. One, let's talk about this. Healthcare conspiracy in America is real and in or face. Now, people talk about G Man. People talk about G Man. But healthcare conspiracy first. Healthcare, like one word. Conspiracy in America, missing the capitalizations. And I hate to be a grammar Nazi for a real Nazi. Is real, no caps needed, or and in or face. I'm thinking he means your face. This. Let's look at the comments before we go. Seven heart transplants so he can live to the age of 101. Okay, comment number two. I would agree with that point, Bill. Take care. Yeah, they will kill you off. A friend in the family had heart problems all of his life and was on disability. He decided to do an experimental treatment to give back. He died on the treadmill. I could tell you many more stories like this. You may want alternative treatments in Mexico. Stem cells, which were developed by the medical industry. Oxygen therapy, which kind of like hasn't had any discernible benefits, or food diets and training, almost as if exercise and eating right make sure that yeah. Yeah. Is that all the comments? So let's look. Let's have a conversation. Well, let's look at what their conversation is. Oh, it's been playing all this time. Let's go back. I wonder why. I wonder why Bill doesn't do face videos anymore. Is it because he doesn't like his face on the video? I don't know. Let's continue. God damn it.
Well, somebody could come in, we'll see. Well, somebody could come in, we'll see. Says we're starting.
Okay, so let's just look at this. For somebody who claims that it's not about just sex and it's about having an intimate partner, this that like if you're putting your lot in with the incels, something tells me it is about sex. I don't know. Is it just me that a lot of the incel communities actually have more of a focus on sex than anything? Let's continue.
And she went live. Okay. So anyhow, I'll give it a minute or two. I know it's young in the day, but I want to get this out of the way. So I guess who don't see it live now will see it later, right? And
That's
if
how
you'll
the
notice,
internet
I gave
works.
the name of the video just what it is. Okay, because that's exactly what it is. Okay, this is exactly what's going on in this country right under everybody's nose.
It's not like we have a major presidential candidate who's actually advocating for Medicare for all, which is really Medicaid for all. That's actually all it is. It's Medicaid for all, and advocating for just the best care that people can get because health care health care is a human right, but health insurance is just a way of making profit. Let's just be honest. But I seem to seems to tend to think that I don't think you went back and looked at the title after you typed it. Maybe it's just me. Let's continue.
And unless you experience it or walk in the middle of it to realize what's going on, you're not going to know what's going on.
The healthcare system is bankrupting us because so many of the companies are looking for profit and they're actually trying to, I don't know, monopolize medicine that the medical care that you actually get by trying to monopolize the chain from the healthcare company to the providers to the medical devices. They're trying to drive a profit by holding a monopoly. Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening? And then because it's healthcare, something that you can't live without, quite literally, they're forcing you to pay higher and higher premiums. Is that what's happening? But let's continue.
And I'm going to give you an example. You know, if Steve Hoka was here, he could give you an example too, okay, of how everything's about money. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, you're there. You're there. Uh,
So, welcome to a worker-owned co-op or maybe a communist system, comrade. Oh, you're not advocating for that? Then how do you expect? Oh, it's because you want to have the money and the power at the top and fuck everybody else. Probably quite literally too, but yeah, that's what you want to have. Not that we need to just change our system in general. No, you want to be the one with all the wealth and power. Is that what we're going to get to? But let's continue.
you're not working today, huh? Oh, I'm way ahead of you anyhow. If you'd like to come into this live stream, I'll let you in, okay? I know it's early where I'm at. It's not so early for you. But I'm up here doing this live stream now because I wanted to talk about the healthcare system here in America. You know, Steve Hogan's got some stuff in his own time. If he decides he wants to talk about it, he will. Okay, or he'll come on live stream sometime or whatever. That's related to this in a lot of ways. But I want to talk about a little bit about what's happened with me and how I can honestly say it is a conspiracy. The medical system in America is being controlled by the elites. Last time I looked when I was looking into this, I found that the Rockefellers were actually
Wait, it's a conspiracy because it's happening to you. Wait, what? Because it's happened to you, it's definitely a conspiracy. When it happened to everybody else, no, they should just suck it up and they're just whining. Because it's happening to you, it's a conspiracy. Can, do you know how stupid and narcissistic that sounds? Really? It makes it seem as if you're more important than everybody else because you don't like like this is what people mean by fucking white privilege. Not that because you're white you are rich and have all the money in the world. It's because you don't recognize how worse off other people are that may be in your same condition, but they have even more things stacked against them. But let's continue.
controlling the medical system in America. Okay, but we're still talking about elite people, people at the top controlling it. And people are going to say I'm nuts, conspiracy theory. So let's see, theory, huh? And I'm a tinfoil wearing hat nut job, right? Because you all want to believe your medical system is here to help you. That's right. To not make you sick, to not kill you, but to help you, to make you feel better, to extend your life, to save your life. You know,
That's how medicine works, dog. Is it a profit motive in it? Fuck. Yeah, of course there's a profit motive in it. Should there be a profit motive in it? Fuck no, there shouldn't be a profit motive in it. But something strikes me as you wouldn't want to get rid of the profit motive. The only thing that you would want to get rid of the profit motive is something that affects you. They call that special pleading. But let's continue.
and the sad thing is in many cases they do, but they also, in many cases, don't. Sometimes there's nothing they can do about it, I agree. But it is a conspiracy and it is not about saving people's health. It has not ever been about saving people's health. It's about making money and it's about population reduction. And I can back this up, okay? I'm going to tell you what took place with me.
You know, the easiest thing to do is just like not give people health care like we have been doing, and 45,000 people die from proper health care each year. 45,000 people die. You know those things about when people are tallying up death tolls for communism. They conveniently they forget to calculate death tolls for capitalism. Let's continue.
Okay, and how I can tell you that there's definitely a conspiracy going on. You know, the other day, I'm going to give you an example. I had an appointment with my new heart doctor, my new cardiologist. Okay, and I went there and I pissed the man off, talking all nice to him, telling him truth. Didn't say much, was nice and polite to him. Okay,
You know what? These guys who say I was being nice and polite didn't piss him off about telling him much of the truth. That doesn't sound like you. That's a relative thing, dog. You may have been an asshole, but just not the asshole that you think that you act to other people. There are some people who are hideous, horrible human beings that actually believe that they're being nice. That don't mean that you are. It's just that you believe that you're being nice. And in some cases, I got to rest up for a little bit. I forgot my healing items. You are being nice, but in some cases, you're being that asshole. But let's continue.
And this guy was arrogant. I guess he thinks his name is God or something. He's the God of the world. So here's what took place.
Lord knows that somebody who feels that there are so many conspiracies out to get everybody, that person can't be arrogant, especially because the conspiracy touches him. But somebody that shows just a little bit of confidence in their work, in what they know, then that motherfucker's arrogant. Hmm. Let's continue.
Back in 2015, most people already know that I suffered a heart attack. I went in and they kept me all night, transferred me to another hospital up in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, where they did an
Oh,
angiogram,
this
told me I
motherfucker
probably had
is
to have a stent or two and
close.
be back on my feet in 3 or 4 days. But after the angiogram, they kept me and told me they had to do open heart surgery the next day on me, that I needed immediate surgery. So, anyhow, so I wound up with a quadruple bypass done on my heart. Okay? And when the surgery was done and said, my RN, the nurse that was taking care of me, that was in my room, told me, well, you got a few, I think 3 or 4, I'm not sure, I can't give the number, but you got some small veins that we can't fix. They still have blockages in them. And I says, okay. Well, when I got out, I'd asked them about the small veins, okay? And at the heart clinic where I was living, the cardiologist that sent me there was now my cardiologist, okay? I asked him about the small veins, and they pointed at the picture of the heart on the wall. And the door actually was on their door in the examining room. Pointed at the small veins and says, we fixed your major arteries so you won't be having no issues. But your small veins is one blocks off, you're gonna have a small heart attack. But don't worry about it. That small heart attack won't be enough to kill you. And I was like, what?
Yeah, just listen to this shit. Like, this is the reason why I need to stay my ass in the gym. But let's continue.
Okay. Okay, a small heart attack. Well, it don't matter how small it is, damages the heart. Well, I had to go back after 30 days after the surgery and see the surgeon. And that came up a week later, so I went to see the surgeon who did the surgery. And I brought the small veins up to him and said, so the RN told me I got 3 or 4 whatever veins, small veins with blockages. And the surgeon says, oh, no, 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 you got a whole bunch. And I says, oh, and he says, yeah, you got a whole bunch. He says, don't worry about it. He says, I fixed your major arteries, so you'll be okay. But however, you are going to have chest pain off and on for the rest of your life.
Wow. You're worried about a conspiracy and you have this shit? Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. That's that's not good. And since it's only audio, I'm gonna actually put it in this format. Let's continue.
Red flag, people, okay? But so I says to him, what do the small veins do? Same thing I said to the other heart clinic. What is the function of the small veins? So we dance around it.
How about deliver blood to the parts of your heart that you need to beat? And I'm not a cardiologist, but it sounds as if they weren't saying it like, oh, from what he's describing, and Lord knows his competency or understanding of medical terminologies, but it sounds as if it was no way to fix the small veins that he's talking about, but the major arteries, which will cause a blockage to kill him, is what was blocked the most. and they fixed that. But yeah, basically he's gonna be living with a heart issue for the rest of his life unless he gets a transplant. But let's continue.
And said, "Don't worry about it. We fixed your vein. We fixed your major arteries." And the other one says, danced around it. "Don't worry about it. We fixed your major arteries, but you will have a small heart attack as each one blocks up." Then an RN that was in the up at the heart clinic looked at me and says, "Yeah, but once you have enough small heart attacks, you'll die from heart failure." And I was like, "Oh,
That's how life works, dog. Eventually, over time, your body just starts to shut down. It's called aging, or how people like to say it's called getting old. Shit happens like that, and I hate to say it like that, but shit happens like this. Basically, you were made aware of you being a human, and that's just having a terminal date on yourself. Whether you fit or not, eventually humans die. And it's sad to hear this. And for you to actually put it in the position of, well, they're saying that I'm gonna, like, because healthcare is a lie or healthcare is a scam. Like, no, like, I I hate like talking about this because it's almost as if you don't grasp the situation. Like, what is going on? They're quite literally saying that you're going to have a heart condition for the rest of your existence here on Earth, and I'm almost sure that they taught you how to manage it and the things that you would need to do to help extend your life, things that we all should be doing. But it's just like they're just telling you some of the things that you just need to understand because of what you experience. Let's continue.
okay." So, but nobody answered my question. So I spent a lot of time on medical sites researching and reading.
In other words, they didn't give you the exact answer that you wanted, and now you went to different websites so they can feed into your fear and paranoia. I'm sorry, like, medical science can't give you exact answers about everything because it just can't. This isn't like fucking Star Wars, Star Trek, excuse me, where you have a, you know, tricorder that can actually give you a print out and read of different things. No, this isn't like that. And I see a lot of, let's be honest, a lot of people who are vehemently religious, they have this belief that science can answer everything, and if it can't, then it's false. Let's continue.
And researching and reading, and I found my answer that they wouldn't give me, what the small veins do. Okay.
Delivers blood to your
So
heart.
I next time I went and saw them, I says to Karen, I says, "So the small veins supply the extra blood needed to the heart when exerting yourself or exercising." With no hesitation, she looked me square in the face and immediately answered it by saying, "That's absolutely correct." Uh-huh. And I knew this because I'd done my own homework. But see, she couldn't tell me that. Neither could she.
Wait, what? What? I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for that. Like you can't figure out that's what your small veins about. Let's continue.
Charity. They couldn't tell me. And even the surgeon wouldn't tell me what they did. I had to go find it out for myself. So we have a surgeon, a cardiologist, and his helper who all would not tell you what they done. But when I acknowledged and told them what they'd done, they immediately acknowledged it with me and said, yes, that's exactly what they do. Okay, so let's use common sense now. If they supply the extra blood the heart needs when exerting oneself or exercising, this means during them times you'd be running a lot more blood through them small veins. Correct, correct, common sense. So, anyhow, here's where the conspiracy comes in. We already have three people who would not answer the question. So, when I came back to my hometown and had to get a new heart doctor, and I went in and saw him on the first time I saw him, I specifically asked him, what is the function of
Damn it!
small veins? What do they do for the heart? I didn't tell him I knew. That's right. I wanted to see if he would answer me honestly.
You're not a fucking doctor, dog. You're not. Like, I'm sorry, you're not a doctor. And shit that you're saying, pretty much, if you're looking up WebMD, you can pretty much get that information. But let's continue.
So he's got a trainee with him when he came in. And I thought, really? A student following him around. I said, okay. Well, he told this student to go blah blah and get blah blah, and she left the room and came back with a picture of the heart. He handed it to me, and it was copy off the copy machine, off the printer, what have you. And he drew a couple of lines on it, pointed at the veins that I've already seen, and he says, "Yep, can't fix them. They're right there." And I, well, so what do they do? He says, "Nothing. Don't worry about them." Ah, they do nothing. Don't worry about them. Okay. So, see, I'm a smartass.
So it sounds as if that they're telling you this shit to basically stop you from stressing and being getting your Google MD and making sure that you're not stressing and trying to help manage you a better quality of life. That's what doctors do. But now it's some big conspiracy. And I guarantee you, if somebody would have walked in and it says, "You're gonna die, you're all gonna die, you're gonna die," all this other good bullshit, then it would have been, you would have had a fucking issue. Like, they definitely trying to kill me. But let's continue. Did I just?
I knew better because I'd already done my homework. And so he schedules me for ultrasound, no problem, on my heart, and schedules me for a stress test to find out why I'm having chest pain.
Because your small arteries are blocked and that's is something that they diagnosed you with from your surgeon to say that, hey, you're going to be experiencing this for the rest of your life. It's almost as if they told you this, you researched it, you got information for it, but yet you don't believe them because reasons. Let's continue.
Now, before I go any further, I'm going to tell you the other half of the story I haven't told you. I know a person, no lie, this is for real, who hasn't had a heart attack but has chest pain off and on, And it caused them to do an angiogram on him, and they found that he has a bunch of his small veins blocked with blockages.
It's almost as if that's what they told you, dog. Like, it's almost as if that's the fact that they told you that. That's what they said would happen. Damn it! You know what? Fuck this. Fuck this. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, guys. I'm actually trying to get me some, I guess, early dinner, late lunch. But let's continue.
So he's got nitroglycerin and he's on disability because at the time, the heart doctor that he had told him what the small veins did. Told him that they supplied the extra blood to the heart needed when exerting or exercising, and wrote into his medical records he wasn't allowed to work.
Almost as if they're trying to keep him alive.
Common sense to me. You're not going to be wanting to run a bunch of blood through veins with blockages, right? Right, common sense. So, anyhow, this doctor told him it. So when him and I talked, I told him about the small veins, and of course, right away, he knew the answer because he was told it by the doctor who now won't tell it. Because I had the same doctor when I went for surgery that he had, okay, that did the angiogram. So they won't tell it now. Well, when I got the new cardiologist, I come down here and asked him that. He danced around it, never told me it neither. But he went ahead and set me up for the ultrasound and a stress test. Well, guess what? A stress test. So you want me to assimilate walking up a mountain, running, yeah, doing major exercise, and push a bunch of blood through veins, have blockages, and possibly bring on a heart attack doing so because, they got blockages.
It's almost as if they put you through a stress test to see how much stress that you can handle. And if a medical professional is there, they're trying to actually get you to a point where it is taxing but not dangerous. Let's continue.
Okay. So what I done was I did the ultrasound, but I did not do the stress test. I canceled it. He set it up for me to do it, and I canceled it. He called me up about a week, 2 weeks before. Okay, it was just before Thanksgiving. Their office called me and told me they wanted to go over. The heart doctor wanted to see me and set the appointment and said to go over the results of the test with you. They had already had the ultrasound done, but not the stress test. And I had canceled the stress test. Of course, that wasn't done. So my brother, and on to top it off, they told me I needed to bring somebody with me. And she stressed that. The nurse says the doctor says you need to bring somebody with you. That sent up a red flag telling me, okay, they must have found.
No, no, dude. When they give you a stress test, they're literally trying to make sure that you're. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to make sure that I get like something. So, the reason why they told you to bring somebody with me because they're going to be pushing you, motherfucker. The reason why they're going to be pushing you, they're going to see what steps need to be left to make sure that your life is fucking safe. And they see if they can actually, you know, make sure you keep on living and making videos where you're complaining about, I don't know, the man and how people are trying to get you killed and all that other good bullshit. Let's continue.
Found something with the ultrasound, or why would they request somebody to be with me? So I took my brother with me. He was sitting there in a room when everything was said. He heard me talking with the heart doctor because he was sitting right there watching the whole thing go down. I was polite to the guy, nice to the guy. He looked at his records in his hand and says, "Why didn't you do the stress test?"
Again, being polite and nice. I would doubt the efficacy of that. But we're going with his story. Let's continue.
Then I proceeded to tell him what the small veins do. Then he proceeded to become arrogant and pissed off and says, "Oh, so you're your own doctor. You
Yeah, because it seems that he's actually trying to perform the doctor shit that, like, I don't think he sees the arrogance of what he just did or his own arrogance, but they're trying to tell him you need to do this to save your keep your motherfucking life because we don't know how bad the other veins are. But let's continue.
can care for yourself." And I says, "No." And I proceeded to tell him about the doctors up in Minnesota, the cardiologist up there, and the surgeon. And he proceeds to tell me, "I don't care what any other doctor told you. I'm the one taking care of you. I don't care what any other doctor told you. You'll listen to me." And then I told him what the small veins do, which I already knew. He bold-facedly, openly lied to me with a snotty attitude. He says, "No, that's not what they do." Okay. Now this gets hilarious. You're gonna like this. Okay. And
I'm already distrusting the recount of this story as it stands right now. Shit, that's gonna hurt. I'm already distrusting this. Maybe it's just because, not that he's being dishonest, but that I feel that he doesn't truly understand exactly what's going on, so he minimizes what's going on to make it seem better than what it actually is. But oh, maybe. But let's continue.
then he told me, "Well, I'll send you to Iowa City. I can arrange that right now. Send you to Iowa City. You can see what they'll say to you." And then he says, "Well, I'm just going to send you back to your primary doctor and he can take care of you." And he grabbed his paperwork, got up, and left the room. Never even read the test results from the ultrasound to me. He was that mad over the fact that I told him what the small veins do and I didn't do a stress test. Seriously,
I think he was more upset that you didn't do the stress test. Did my broadcast end? Oh shit! I think he was more upset that you didn't do the stress test. No, I'm still alive. No. Hmm. Let me check something. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to make sure everything is working as it should. No, I'm still streaming. Yeah, you Twitch still streaming. Hmm. I'll be right back, guys. Anyway, let's continue.
This happened just this week. So I proceed to say, oh, okay. And my brother's like, wow. And I says, yeah, he's pissed. He says, you dang right he is. He's arrogant. He's self-conceited, man. This guy's arrogant. And I says, yeah, I know. He thinks his name is God. He don't care what any other doctor says, even if they're heart doctors themselves, because his word is God. I mean, he's God, right? Well, anyhow, I come home and I called administration and lodged a complaint on him. About 30 minutes later, my phone rings and it's the clinic and it's the
Come on.
heart doctor's nurse wanting to know what's going on, what happened. So I told her what happened and I told her what the little veins do. And when I told her what the little veins do,
I think she knows what the
she
little
was just
veins
like
do.
up in Minnesota. She immediately acknowledged it and told me that's absolutely correct. And then my brother's being a smartass says, she needs to tell her boss that, the doctor. Yeah. So even the doctor's RN, his own nurse, contradicted his statement. I already knew the guy openly lied to me. Now, why do I say it's a conspiracy? You think it's an accident that if you ask what the small veins of the heart do for the heart to the surgeon, and he says, I fixed your major arteries, don't worry about what they do. He says you'll have chest pain off and on the rest of your life. Then you ask this to the cardiologist, don't worry about it. We fixed your major arteries, okay? And your small veins.
Do they need to have some better bedside manner? Of course they probably fucking do. I think that he misunderstands what they're trying to tell you. It's almost as if you don't understand like how doctors work. A lot of doctors they don't wish to like push a lot of bad shit on the people who are their patients. Some doctors are dicks. Like look at look at the Greg House example. But it doesn't mean that they're just actively trying to lie to you, man. That's not how shit works sometimes. I get it. You distrust the system because of how the system has quote unquote screwed so many people, especially men, over. But that's not always the case, dog. But let's continue.
Have blockages, but you'll have a small heart attack when one blocks off, but it won't be enough to kill you because we fixed your major arteries. Okay, so I've got one, two, three, four people now, okay, who are dancing around the question and not answering it. I got two people, one in Iowa, one in Minnesota, that when I told them what the small veins do, immediately, with no hesitation, acknowledged me and said that's absolutely correct. I know it's absolutely correct because I spent a ton of time looking it up and reading, and a ton of reading to find my answer. Okay, so I knew it was already correct. And
Yeah,
that was
you
confirmed it
had
was correct
confirmation
twice
bias.
now. Even when
Yeah, dude, you had confirmation bias that hey, I was looking for the worst possible answer that it can actually be. I have it. Now, two doctors have told me not to worry about it because I may not be doing the, extraneous exercise that they say that it would normally affect people. Maybe that's the reason why they're telling you not to worry about it. Shit like that happens. But no, you think that everything is a conspiracy. It's fucking awesome too. Hash browns, hash browns. Get them while they motherfucking hot. Damn it, that dragon got out. Oh shit! Yeah, let the Andre Dragon fight the shit out of them. Maybe they take some more of his health down. Well, let's continue.
And the heart doctor here in this town openly, bold-facedly lied to me. Now understand, they're being controlled. Most likely, what's happened is the Rockefellers get word from the elite, and people with small veins blocked would automatically qualify for disability and shouldn't be working.
Wait, what? This went from 0 to 100 conspiracy theory in less than 10 seconds flat. What?
And they want their population reduction. So therefore, they're not telling their patients what they do. But they will schedule you for a test that could kill you, and they know it. So anyhow, the nurse, when she called me and I told her and she acknowledged it, she says to me, well, let me go over your test results. And she told me the test results from the ultrasound. She talks about the pumping, the power of the pumping of my heart. She said the name, but it's a funky medical name that is not in my head, but I understood what.
Cardiac rhythm. I'm like, I don't know, dog. Like, it sounds as if you just scared shitless about everything that's going on with your heart. Shit, we all would be. And they actually do a stress test to see how much stress your heart can actually take. Not to kill you. If they wanted to stress you out, they probably would tell you how deep the fucking heart issue is. That'll really fucking stress you out. See a stress test there.
She was saying. And back in 2015, they got back up to 55 after the surgery and everything was all done. They'd like to see the be around 60, but 55 was still acceptable, and that's where it was at. Well, the ultrasound showed that I'm now down to 49. So she says to me, so it's dropped, and it shouldn't have dropped. It should be right where it's at. She says it's dropped because most likely you have another blockage in one of your arteries, and most likely it's probably one of your main arteries. But regardless of what, you got other blockages, you got another blockage or something going on. She says, so we would like to do the stress test to locate the artery that has the blockage. Now, I want to see if you understand what she just said.
Okay, before you get some wild conspiracy theory, you're gonna fucking die unless you do this stress test. And with the stress test, we can figure out what artery is blocked so we can actually make sure that, we fix it. That's what I heard. That's what I understand. You need to be at 60. You're at 45. And we need to fix this shit quick, fast, in a hurry. You're actually getting upset at people who's trying to fucking save your life because conspiracy. Let's continue.
We would like to work the hell out of your heart and send blood through the veins that we know have blockages by good amounts so that we can see which vein has a blockage. The stress tests don't tell them which vein has a blockage. That's called an angiogram. That's called they go through a vein in the wrist or the groin. They put dye in your blood and they put you under a machine that allows them to see your veins with the dye in it to find the blockages in the veins. Okay? That is called an angiogram, not a stress test. So, see, what the nurse really said is we want to test our theory out on you and see if we can figure out which vein it is by producing a heart attack.
You can find a blocked vein in both ways. You can. It's they've been doing it for years. Stress test is not something that is a new situation. They were doing stress tests along with angiograms for years. But it's the conspiracy. Let's continue.
See, I guess it's like this. You got a rod knocking on your motor, on the block of your motor. I hear it clearly knocking, and I tell you, shut it off. At that point, I could technically jack up the motor, jack up the car, break the motor mounts loose, jack up the motor, drop the oil pan, and I can tell you which rod it is. I could go through and change the bearings out. Maybe you'll get lucky and save it, maybe you won't. But if you get it before it lets free, and you haven't cracked the block, you should be able to just change the bearings out and retorque with new bolts and retorque it down. Maybe get a few more miles on it before you have to go rebuild the motor, okay? But rather than do that, let's just go ahead and leave it just the way it is with it knocking, and I'll go ahead and have you do a stress test on your motor. We'll put a full load on it and have you gun it, okay, with the rod knocking. What do you mean it went through the side of the block and there's a crack and the oil is everywhere and the block's shot now and you have to go buy a new motor? Oh, I guess it failed the stress test.
What you do for a car is different from what you do for an engine. God damn. Like, he really thinks this. Like, they're not trying to kill you, Bill. But let's continue.
Yeah. Do you follow what I'm saying? It's common sense. Oh, that's right. We don't possess common sense in today's society, right? Isn't that really what we're doing is we don't possess common sense? See, now I'm using critical thinking skills. You already know that they put one guy on disability and told him he wasn't allowed to work because the small veins, well, supply the extra blood the heart needs when exerting yourself or exercising. So there you go. That's common sense. You wouldn't be wanting to do a bunch unless you're just tired of it, okay, blah, blah, blah. So, but it's a common sense thing. The angiogram.
It sounds as if he was scared to take the test. And no knock against him, figuratively speaking. But it sounds as if he was scared to do the test. But for you to say, I'm scared to do a stress test, can we do another way where I won't be as stressed taking a test to monitor my stress? It's a conspiracy. I mean, come on now. We know what the fuck is going on. You scared. Rightly so. I would be scared too. Shit. But let's continue.
Is how they find the blockages, not the stress test. The stress test is to see how much they can put on your heart. It's to test how much your heart will take. What it does when it's under a load.
Don't break my heart. My achy breaky heart. I had to. But yeah, of course, to see if it's a general blockage or it's the little small blockages are adding to. And I'm just going based off of the information that he said, and I have no doubt that there are parts of this he doesn't understand. But I'm just going with the flow of what he's explaining. But let's continue.
When you have a whole bunch of little veins blocked, you really don't want to be doing that. And now you know the numbers dropped to 49, not a significant amount, but it's dropped to 49 for the pumping power on my heart, which means there's another blockage on top of what I got. But let's just go ahead and work it to its capacity and see if we can't kill him. Rather than just go in and do another angiogram and find a problem and stent it, do what you got to do, you're going to say, let's do the stress test, see if we can't kill him off first.
This is like just fear. That's all this is. This is just fear. It's fear that, fuck, they told me I'm gonna basically die. That's what this was about. But let's continue.
And how does it qualify as a conspiracy? Because a doctor who used to tell you what the small veins do will no longer tell you what they do. Because another heart doctor in a different town in the same state won't tell you what they do, and neither will his assistant. And then the heart doctor here won't tell you what they do here in Iowa. When you ask them what the functional veins are, they dance around it. Every last one of them did. So you know about.
Maybe there's more information that they have in the website you're looking at is outdated, or it's meant to have a conversation in, I don't know, civilian terms, in layman terms. That's the word I'm looking for. But you're just not able to understand or comprehend. Maybe that's what's going on, dog. But it's a conspiracy. They don't give me the answers that I want. So it's a conspiracy. The man is trying to make me pay for which seems like their poor health choices, which pot calling the kettle black, and make me die from a stress test, which is a stress test that they've been doing for years, and they've worked out how to get that to a point where it's taxing, but not to the point where it's gonna kill you. And even if it does, they have doctors surrounding you, and they usually do a stress test in a hospital. But let's continue.
What's happened is the orders have come down in a meeting from the top telling them that they're not to tell the patients what it does no more, and if they do, that their license will be on the line. You know, this is how they control them. It's through the monetary system, through money. You know, so it's sad that you've had to go this far, isn't it? It's really sad. So, in reality, yes, the healthcare system in America, okay, it's a conspiracy, okay? That's why healthcare conspiracy in America is real and in your face. That's the reason I gave it the name.
Oh my
You know,
God! He doesn't realize he didn't spell the title wrong, right. Oh my God, he doesn't realize he didn't spell the title right. Dunning Kruger was fucking correct. Now, let's be very, very clear with something. Are there different suggestions of patient care that some doctors tell people? Yes. Is there certain things that a doctor will tell a 60-year-old patient that he won't tell a 20 and vice versa? Yes. But to say that it's not a problem because maybe you don't need to actually use the level of health that's a lot of people are actually in that era in certain lifestyles use. Maybe that's a thing, dog. Maybe that's a thing. But it's a conspiracy because they didn't give you the answer that you want. Fuck. This boss didn't give me the fucking drop that I wanted. It's a conspiracy. I don't I don't even know. I, I don't how. How do you come up with that shit? But let's continue.
And I hate to say that, but the truth is the truth. This is what's taken place in the last week for me. Okay? So now I'm in the middle of finding another heart doctor. I went back to administration yesterday. I may even have to go out of town to find another heart doctor just so what? They can lie to me too? Maybe they'll be honest with me when I tell them what the small veins do, like the assistants and the RNs are, and understand that I already know and just order an angiogram. Are they going to be an arrogant prick and name themselves God and think they can still push something on me that they shouldn't be pushing on me?
It seems that you have a problem with authority, Bill. It seems that you don't like to be told what to do. That's fine. But please say that. Please say that you have a problem with authority. But let's continue.
So that's just where we come from, you know. And for this guy here, I understand health problems can be from what we eat. I wasn't born yesterday, and I'm not obese. I'm not way overweight or obese. Cancer's from what we eat too. Do you see anybody talking about it?
Yes, all the time. It's called lifestyle choices. Yes, people talk about it all the time. And actually, you get cancer for just fucking living. Sooner or later, the telomeres in your genes actually start breaking down, and that would cause mutations. And you just said something that really kind of, you know, kicked off my spidey sense that it wasn't just a discussion about how you just like literally you wanted to go the easy way route out because you're scared of the test that you may take. In which I fucking get, I understand. Trust me, I am not belittling the whole choice of just like you want to put me on a fucking what? Like, no. I fucking understand it. And I'm sorry. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like I get the fear. And it's sad to hear that. Like, it's super sad to hear. Like, I'm not one of those people that wishes harm or ill or even discomfort in a life like that, that shit is like super bad. Super sad to hear somebody is experiencing that. But let's continue.
Do you see anybody doing anything about it? GMO, Monsanto's, GMO foods. Then we have, oh, that's right, we have aluminum and barium being sprayed on your crops from the interstate.
When you want one, when you have one conspiracy, you have another. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was an anti-vaxxer or a 9/11 truther. But let's continue.
Spray chemtrails on us. Do you think aluminum's good for your body, guys? So maybe aluminum's good for your body too, huh?
You kind of need some of it, not in heavy toxic amounts, no, but some of it is needed.
And maybe fluoride, the product of making aluminum that they're pouring in your water, is good for you too, right?
It helped with dental health for generations of people.
So I suppose some arsenic will be good for you as well, right?
Just because something is quote unquote unnatural doesn't mean not it's bad for you. Like, seriously, use that Google food that you've been using to figure out what the small veins are and fucking figure out what these things are that are, you claim quote unquote effect. Oh no, you won't, because when you find the answers that you're looking for, when you find the answers, they're not the ones that you're looking for. So you get upset and pissed because reasons. But let's continue.
No, the healthcare system is not here to cure people or to help people. They're here to kill you. They're here to collect money on you, as much money as they can, and get population reduction while they're at it. So's big pharma.
And you know what? Broken clock. Yes, the health insurance companies are here to get as much money as they can from you without fucking paying any of your coverage. We don't call that a conspiracy. We call that the profit model, which, yeah, of course, I still call it a conspiracy, but not a conspiracy of ill will. So, yeah, no, if you want to actually have that conversation, we can have that conversation, Bill. We can definitely have that conversation. That we should look at taking a profit motive out of the healthcare system. Cool. Okay. 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 Okay.
And so that's where this comes from. Yeah, I know I'm up here early doing a live stream, and I'm sort of surprised. I see Ward. Man, he's out of bed early today. Yep. So, so I wanted to come up here for a little while, and I wanted to talk about the conspiracy in the healthcare system, because it's true. It's really going on. And it's not just even in my case, but I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I'm going to let them do their own speaking. They know that this shit's all about money. That's what it's about. These people don't care. They will willingly lie to you for money. I can understand, okay, they spent major.
Oh, cool. Great. So, are you for the getting rid of the profit motive? I don't know. Seems like that would help a lot. But let's continue.
time going to college to become a doctor. They spend even more major time becoming a specialist like a cardiologist or a lung doctor, whatever.
Um, Pulmonary care doctor. I don't even think he would actually really know the difference. I don't. Why would somebody? This is what I don't get about the NASA conspiracies. Why would somebody go through all that time, effort, to make sure people die? You said that these people are arrogant. My arrogance wouldn't allow for me to sit back and go through all this time, wasted school and money, just so I can make sure I watch people die. That doesn't make sense to me. That would be the opposite of arrogant. They wouldn't get on your case about not taking care of yourself. But let's continue. We're almost finished.
Have you right? And they paid back a lot of loans, and they also got rich while they were doing it. But the first time, the people who run and control the health system in America, named Rockefellers, and the elite get involved and make a statement or say you're not to tell the patients, or we will, as they always do, they use their licensing against them, just like they did Dr. Belinsky when he was curing cancer, and they attacked him over and over until they took his medical license from him to stop him from saving people's lives.
There are several different types of cancers for you to say, I cured this one type of cancer. I mean, like, yeah, there's some people that actually say that I prevented uh, multiple cases of cervical cancer with the HPV vaccines. But it's more than one case of cancer. And at the time that we fix, quote unquote, or cure age related cancers or genetic mutations to the point where it just no longer affects people, then that would actually take care of one of the biggest concerns that we have for cancer. But let's continue.
No lie, fact, cancer is created by the things we eat, the breakdown of the immune system. If you got a strong immune system, you won't get cancer because your immune system will kick the shit out of cancer and it can't live in your body.
Um, there are cancers that happen because of overactive immune system. And from what I know of the people that actually do cancer research and actually explained it in layman's term, there are cancer fighting um, sequences in your DNA. The problem is over time, those become fewer and fewer. We actually have a built-in system to help protect against mutations in our genetic system. The problem is it gets worse over time because we age. But let's continue.
But if you got a weak immune system that's already broke down, you may not feel sick, but your immune system is not up to par. Cancer will kick the shit out of you and take you out. And they know this, and they're going to lie to you and tell you, we need your donations so we can continue to look for the cure, even though they know full well what's causing cancer. The real name of cancer, by the way, is called scurvy.
No. No. Fuck no. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to do this video and put it on my channel and spread so much fucking ignorance. No! Scurvy is not fucking cancer. Scurvy is a lack of, vitamins and minerals. Oh god. Oh god. My head just started hurting from the stupidity. I literally might have cancer from that stupidity. Let's continue.
Yeah. It was scurvy for many years before the medical industry and Rockefellers got involved and did away with backyard doctors and took it over.
Because backyard doctors were killing people. It is a reason. I'm, I'm chill. It is a reason why that the life expectancy has gone up, because we have standardized practices. We have standardized making sure there are different practices for people, hospitals, doctors, all of these other things. The fact that he would actually just say it's scurvy just lets me know that you need to do some more Google food, man. You just need to do some more Google food. But let's continue.
Now it's called cancer. And all it is from you not getting the proper foods in your body. Nowadays, I challenge you, because we're using GMO seeds to grow most of your crops.
Can somebody get him a picture of what a strawberry or a banana or corn used to look like before we genetically modified it? Can we get a picture of what a fucking cow used to be? A dog, a pig used to be before we genetically modified it, looking for specific characteristics. And actually, if mammals stay alive, but humans don't, I would probably suspect the boar to be the next species that become highly evolved, because they're just as smart as us. Um, God, if they start walking on two legs like an Animal Farm, and they may actually dominate and become the next major species. I don't know. Just my theory. I mean, like, you know. But let's continue.
We're eating processed foods. That's right. We're eating plants that's been freaking sprayed with freaking poison from Monsanto's and poison from the skies. So good luck. So good luck. You know, and if you're going to big pharma or pharmacy to buy your vitamins, that's about the biggest joke I've ever seen in my life. Because you can be guaranteed, if you had it tested in a lab, it won't have the vitamin that your body needs in it.
And it's almost as if it's not FDA approved for that fucking reason. Oh yeah, no, it's the conspiracy. The conspiracy that they're just trying to make it seem like these things are just bad for you and they're not good, and oh yeah, for some reason, because reason. I don't know. Just because reason. But let's continue.
It'll be a fraudulent advertisement. Because they're not about to give you what you need for your immune system to become strong. The medical system couldn't profit off of you and get rich if you were all healthy.
You're right. If your concern was just as bad, like I remember seeing what was it, the Daybreakers or something like that, where they were people had mostly become vampires and they found the cure to the shit, but because companies had a profit motive, they kept people under control. And it's just like, yeah, if you want to say that there is a profit motive, not malice driven profit motive, but just a profit motive, I can believe you, because the clinical just well, we're making a profit because money is money. That's fucking awful. But something tells me that's not the rodeo you trying to ride, dog. I'm sorry that you have this fear, especially when it comes to around your heart and things of that nature. But let's see what else he has to ramble about.
But they can profit and get rich if we're not healthy, and they can help with population reduction. See, so no, the conspiracy that the medical system isn't here to save you is true. It's not a lie. And, it's just too many people want to fall for the lie, want to believe the lie, don't want to hear the truth, or they think they can run out and tell you this and this will beat it, this and this will make you blah, blah, blah. And then the first thing they do is run right down to Walgreens or something and pick up a bottle of vitamins that are fraudulent as fraudulent gets. How about going where they're not spraying? How about getting your hands on the real fruits, the real seeds to grow fruits and vegetables?
Again, we kind of got rid of most of the real fruits and vegetables a long time ago. Like literally, there was no such thing naturally as broccoli. We fucking created it. But let's continue.
And how about finding a spot that don't get sprayed with chemtrails and poisons and take the real seed, not the GMO seed, and grow the real thing? Then you'll get the right vitamins just through eating the right stuff. And you won't have to go to Big Pharma.
You know what kills me about people that says let's go back to natural living? Natural living, life expectancy was about 35 years, maybe 40, if you were lucky. These hundreds of years that's in the Bible, we know that's all bullshit. That's how you were lucky if you made it to 30. I mean, like, shout outs to the Romans for trying to inventing, you know, more sanitary conditions. Even though even then they had some fucked up things that they did, but let's continue.
Oh, but that's right. They don't want you doing that. Do you think they were accidentally attacking the farmers here in America? How many people remember when Willie Nelson was fighting for farmers' rights against Monsanto's? How many of you remember the raids they did on little farms that were selling their crops to local businesses in small towns? And they raided the farm and took all their shit so they couldn't sell it to the public.
Now, okay, something tells me, just knowing what I know, and maybe I'm just jaded by like the ICE things and all of those other things. A lot of the times, it seems that they had quote unquote migrant workers. They raided farms and wanted to actually push out other people that may have, looked a little brown, and that was a problem. But maybe I'm just jaded because of ICE. I fully put that out there that I may be jaded because of the shit I seen about just the racism that I see, the supremacy, the white supremacy that I see, where they heavy-handedly attack people that may be migrants that work in the farms. And then, of course, big business wants to keep their profit. So, fuck you. Fuck you because reasons, right? But let's continue.
That was no accident. That was to stop them from selling good food to the public. That's correct. Vaccinations do destroy.
Ah,
That's another
anti-vaxxer.
poison they're putting on us. All in the name
Anti-vaxxer.
of your health. Let's kill you. It's pathetic, people. It really is. But I wanted to get up here for a little bit. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on with me. And how I pissed off the cardiologist without even being mean to him. All because I told him what the small veins do. And because I wouldn't be his guinea pig, he's pissed off at me.
I didn't hear anything about you being his guinea pig from what you told me about what happened, dog. It's almost as if you are just fucking fearful of that test. Which, like, I'm not gonna lie, I would be too, especially if they said, yeah, you may die from Like if they may simulate a heart attack, I would be fucking fearful too. But let's continue.
Okay? And he don't care what any other doctor says. He don't care what research you do or what you know. Because if you know something about the medical system, because you study and read, and you're accurate, he's going to become pissed off and tell you, yo, you're your own doctor. He's going to openly deny what the small veins of the heart do, but his nurse is going to be honest and tell you it, making him look like an ass. Pretty awesome, isn't it? How his nurse told me the truth, and
It just seems like you want to just buck authority, dog. And I get it. I understand that. The wanting to buck authority. Fuck. I definitely understand that. But I don't know. Besides, I have a mother who was an LPN, so I kind of know how nurses actually view the doctors as pompous assholes. But if you wanted population control, the funny fucking part about it is if people wanted population control, they wouldn't have came up with vaccines. Like, let's be honest here. Vaccines actually saves lives. Like, there's no way around it. Vaccines save lives. But let's continue.
he lied to me. It's fucking pathetic. So I could find another heart doctor. Okay, that's fine. That's fine and all. Hey, but I did go out. My brother and I went out and got some raw garlic. Got to look up some recipes I can use to fix it in. But I think we're going to start eating more garlic because I hear garlic here helps clear the veins.
It has some heart health benefits, yes. But it's not like it goes in there and actually scrubs the veins clean. Like, not that's not how this works, dog. Boy.
So maybe if I start pushing a bunch of garlic through me every day, who knows? I could start to clear some of my veins naturally, huh? Hey, I got nothing to lose. It's worth a shot, right?
This is like this big thing about you being fearful. I get it. You're fucking afraid that. Yeah, I got some bad news from the cardiologist. But to say it's a conspiracy, it's a conspiracy. It just sounds as if you're scared, which is fine to be scared. God damn it. No one is saying that you can't be scared about the bad news that you have. I would be too. But it just sounds like the conspiracy. But let's let him finish out this video.
So this is where I'm coming from that way. But I wanted to get up here and let you know, and I got the name right here for you so you can see that. I was happy to see that Warren found his way up here. And Jay over there, United Kingdom. Appreciate you both being in here. And I really do. Didn't expect to see either one of you two up. Well,
All right, if he's just doing shout outs, I'm going to actually use this to kind of wrap the stream. It's almost 7. And, damn it, I've been streaming for almost 4 hours. God damn. Thank everybody. Remember, I'm going to put the videos in clips on my YouTube channel at Crimson60620.